All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about how you track your numbers, okay? This is very important because at the end of the day, once again, all this training material that you're watching is only as good as the coaching that comes behind it. And if you're not tracking your numbers and looking at your law of averages every single day, every week, every month, you're probably missing out an opportunity for you to truly improve. And I want you guys to understand, sales is a coaching game. Sales is a game that you're going to be able to have ups and downs, and you're going to be able to need to be able to self-analyze looking at your numbers and assessing your day. So for me, every one of my employees every single day sends me the following information. I'll break it down after, okay? Every single day, my reps send me how many calls they made, how many connections they got, how many appointments they set up, if they had meetings scheduled, how many were scheduled, and out of those scheduled meetings, how many of them showed. I also have them send me a list of their objections that they get, and I have them send me an overall assessment of how they felt like their day was, and assessment of how they felt like they did. This is a vital part of their day because it helps me review how they're viewing their day. It helps me view how they feel about their day, but it also helps me see how self-aware they are in analyzing their numbers and compared to how they felt the day went. So let me break down why I have you guys review what you review, and the call volume is just simply to check out your pace, to see how much did you get done, how much were we able to execute. I'm looking to see how much you're able to get done and not just the outcome, but in regards to the effort. At the end of the day, the next number we're looking at is connection, and we want to remember that the call to connection is our connection rate, and that metric we're looking for is at least 20%. If you're not at 20%, then you need to get coaching on how to get past the gatekeeper, how to ask for the right person, how to navigate that process to increase your connection rate. You should have, no matter how many calls you make, 20% of those should equate into a connection on a consistent basis. If you have one day that doesn't equate to that, it's not the end of the world, but if you trend under that number, you should receive coaching on how to get more connections. Especially in a cold call environment, connections is one of the most difficult things, but 20% of those calls should equate there. So after we've tracked the calls and the volume of connections, the next number we want to track is how many appointments we set. I want you guys to remember that you should have a set rate, which is how many connections you get to set, should be at least 10%. So if on a day-to-day basis you make 50 calls and you get 10 connections, that's a 20% connection rate. You should be able to get at least out of those 10 connections at least one set demo. If you don't have at least one set demo, then what you're looking to coach for is you're looking to talk about your energy, your enthusiasm, your elevator pitch. Were I able to get responses from my elevator pitch? When I got a response, were I able to overcome any objections? If so, how many objections did I overcome? If you're not overcoming at least 3 objections before you give up on the customer, you're probably not pushing hard enough. So am I aggressive enough? Am I assertive enough? Am I selling or am I offering? There's a very big difference there. And so if you don't have at least a 10% set rate, then you should be working on your overall sales pitch and the overall process in your pitch. Once again, connections is going to equate to your pace. Your overcoming and your connection rate and your set rate are typically going to tie to your pitch. The next thing we're going to look at is going to be your set rate, which is how many appointments I had scheduled for the day versus how many showed. And if I don't have at least a 75% show rate month over month, I would track that typically not just day by day, but maybe over the last 7 to 14 days. That number I'm looking to do. And that will help me understand is, did I set the appointments with quality? Did I set the appointments with the right people? Did I go through the 4-step qualified process? Did I get cell phones? Did I set the demo inside of 24 hours? Did I clearly expect the expectation? And did a customer accept my invite? All of those things are going to increase the likelihood of a show. But if I don't have a 75% show rate, we need to go back to how I'm selling it, how I'm setting proper expectations. At the end of the day, you should be keeping track of the number of objections, the type of objections, the total number of objections, and what those objections are. If you're not doing role-playing on those objections, especially if you're under 10%, you're not working on the right things. And last but not least, your own self-assessment of the day is going to give you awareness of how you felt if it matches up with the outcome of your day. You should be sending this to your coach every single night, and that coach should be providing you daily feedback on what they see from that, not just within the day, but in the overall trends. This should be something that you guys analyze heavily every single week, every single month, and coaching should be directly attached to that. That coaching should be through talk tracks, role plays, and live call sessions and live call reviews. If you're not doing that or you don't have somebody to help you do that, feel free to reach out to Spinwheel. We can help you out.